Life's too short to hang out with people who aren't resourceful. Cleverness is a gift. Kindness is a choice. We are stubborn on vision. We are flexible on details. Work hard, have fun, make history. If you never want to be criticized, for goodness sake, don't do anything new. Your margin is my opportunity. People who are right most of the time are people who change their minds often. Your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. One of the only ways to get out of a tight box is to invent your way out. Position yourself with something that captures your curiosity, something that you're missionary about. The keys to success are patience, persistence, and obsessive attention to detail. One of the huge mistakes people make is that they try to force an interest on themselves. You don't choose your passion chooses you. Put the customer first. Invent. And be patient. Obsess about customers, not competitors. I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I knew the one thing I might regret is not trying. Maintain a firm grasp of the obvious at all times. A company shouldn't get addicted to being shiny, because shiny doesn't last. If we can keep our competitors focused on us while we stay focused on the customer, ultimately, we'll turn out all right. Email has some magical ability to turn off the politeness gene in a human being. All of my best decisions, in business and in life, have been made with heart, intuition, guts, not analysis. If you're doing anything interesting in the world, you are going to have critics. You can't stop it. Move forward. It's not worth losing any sleep over. Complaining is not a strategy. You have to work with the world as you find it, not as you would have it be. Stress comes from ignoring the things that you shouldn't be ignoring. The great thing about fact-based decisions is that they overrule the hierarchy. Invention is by its very nature disruptive. If you want to be understood at all times, then don't do anything new. I don't want to use my creative energy on somebody else's user interface. What we need to do is always look into the future. My view is, there's no bad time to innovate. If you want to be inventive, you have to be willing to fail. We can't be in survival mode. We have to be in growth mode. If we think long-term, we can accomplish things that we couldn't otherwise accomplish. We see our customers as invited guests to a party, and we are the hosts. It's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience a little bit better. No business can continue to shrink. That can only go on for so long before irrelevancy sets in. If you decide that you're going to do only the things you know are going to work, you're going to leave a lot of opportunity on the table. The thing that motivates me is a very common form of motivation. And that is, with other folks counting on me, it's so easy to be motivated. It's not an experiment if you know it's going to work. You don't want to negotiate the price of simple things you buy every day. A brand for a company is like a reputation for a person. You earn reputation by trying to do hard things well. If you don't understand the details of your business, you are going to fail. What's dangerous is not to evolve. In the end, we are our choices. The death knell for any enterprise is to glorify the past, no matter how good it was. In the old world, you devoted 30% of your time to building a great service and 70% of your time to shouting about it. In the new world, that inverts. People who love all fields of knowledge are the ones who can best spot the patterns that exist across nature. The common question that gets asked in business is, why? That's a good question, but an equally valid question is, why not? If you're very clear to the outside world that you're taking a long-term approach, then people can self-select in. Cultures aren't so much planned as they evolve from that early set of people. As a company, one of our greatest cultural strengths is accepting the fact that if you're going to invent, you're going to disrupt. If you do build a great experience, customers tell each other about that. Word of mouth is very powerful. What's good for customers is good for shareholders. The best customer service is if the customer doesn't need to call you, doesn't need to talk to you. It just works. There are two kinds of companies, those that work to try to charge more, and those that work to charge less. We will be the second. There'll always be serendipity involved in discovery. Humans are unbelievably data efficient. You don't have to drive 1 million miles to drive a car, but the way we teach a self-driving car is have it drive 1 million miles. As a company grows, everything needs to scale, including the size of your failed experiments. If the size of your failures isn't growing, you're not going to be inventing at a size that can actually move the needle. If you're not stubborn, you'll give up on experiments too soon. And if you're not flexible, you'll pound your head against the wall, and you won't see a different solution to a problem you're trying to solve. One of the things that I hope will distinguish Amazon.com is that we continue to be a company that defies easy analogy. This requires a lot of innovation, and innovation requires a lot of random walk. What we need to do is always lean into the future when the world changes around you, and when it changes against you. What used to be a tailwind is now a headwind. You have to lean into that and figure out what to do, because complaining isn't a strategy.